So here's another dream. It seems like 2020 has been a year of dreams, and I'm thankful. I'm so thankful that in the midst of what we've all been going through, so many of us have been uplifted and encouraged by the dreams that God has been giving us. And this year, 2020, I started having dreams back in February, and I haven't really had many God dreams since around 2016 to 2017. And before that, it was from 2009 to 2012. So I've had like years where I would have tons of dreams and visions. And then I would have years where there was like nothing. And then they would come back again for a couple of years. And then they would go away. And then this year they've come back. And I don't know if anyone else experiences that type of thing, but I know in February, right when Corona started, that is when it started to pick up for me. And this dream I had on the actual day was May 16th of 2020. And I believe the very next day was when Trump announced that he would be using military to expedite the vaccinations. So I was pretty amazed that God would give me a dream about a forced vaccine, and then the very next day I would hear that our president and our military would be, pushing this vaccine on everyone globally as well. So in this dream, it started out, I was in my front yard, and my house looked a little different. It wasn't the same house at all, but it was the same location. And I had the same neighbors, and, things looked a little bit different, but I knew that I was in the house that I'm in now. And so I had a bunch of stuff in my yard, and I think I was just going through things and trying to get organized and maybe have a garage sale, that type of thing. And I look out to my street in front of me, which is just not a very highly trafficked neighborhood road, just a regular in the neighborhood road. And I see all these people out there just kind of walking around. So I decided to go and kind of check things out. So I went down into the street and just started walking around, and all these people were just milling around. It was like they were just kind of looking down. I don't know if they were confused or downtrodden or just what was going on, but just seems so clear now with 2020 being the way it's been, that these people would just be kind of looking down and just, just they didn't feel the need to look up, I guess, just, sad. And so I looked around and all these people, and I didn't recognize anyone I knew. So I thought, I'm just going to go back to my work in my yard. And before I could, there was a woman reporter who stopped me, and she had a microphone. She put it in my mouth, and she's like, I want to talk to you. I want to ask you some questions. And she just really wanted to press me and talk to me. And I just let her know I'm not interested. And so I turned around, and I will say that this woman was an actress, and she used to be in quite a few movies in, I think, the 80s, early 90s. She was in a movie called Cheaper by the Dozen with Steve Martin. Her name is Bonnie Hunt. So I don't know why I saw this woman in that dream at all. Maybe the name has significance. I'm not sure. So she, I just turned around, and that was it with her. As I'm heading back up my curb, in front of me now stands this metal and steel cart. And so I see this cart from a little bit of a distance, and in the front of it, it's blue and black, painted blue and black steel, and real heavy duty. And I see this double drink dispenser, like there's two options or two choices. So that kind of lured me in and drew me in. I thought, what is this thing? So I went over to it, and there's two men suddenly behind it that I didn't even notice when I was looking at the cart. And they're pretty tall. I would say like 6'2" to 6'3". They're strong. They've got big muscles, and I'm, really short, 5'2". And so at first, they were nice to me, talking to me, just chit-chatting. And then all of a sudden, one of them grabs me by the arm, and we started this like physical struggle. And I looked over my shoulder, my right shoulder, at my front door, and I knew, like, I can't get back to my door. These guys are too big. I'm too small. But I was really holding my own with them, which kind of surprised me in the dream. Then the one that was not holding me but was further away from me, all of a sudden he rears up with this giant needle in his hand, this really long syringe. And he's trying to jab it in my arm, just like you would expect in, one of these forced vaccination dreams. And so at that moment, I willed with every bit of my might and strength, and I pushed myself up into the air. And I flew up about 20 feet in the air, and they were grabbing for my feet, but they could not reach me. And I was just hovering 20 feet above the air next to the trees. And that was the end of the dream.